Do you think we come up with any of this stuff when you started writing that list down? That's the beauty of these lists. Welcome to the Hall of the Guildmasters Campaign Ideas Series. Do you have the list ready that we're going over? If you've never seen one of these videos before, we have a list of 5 ideas that we're going to go build a session around for your RPG campaign. We have 4 serious ideas and then 1 wild card one. Something like what you just witnessed there that will completely throw the campaign in a loop, which will be freaking fantastic. So, you have the list of ideas for today?
You bet.
Sounds good. Go ahead.
So the setting, to start. There's one small island that rules all the surrounding territory. That's the first element. Second element, there's a legend of a huge defeat that was suffered by this kingdom a century ago. No one talks about it.
From the small island?
Okay. The kingdom that's ruled by the small island. There's this legend. No one talks about it. But there's rumors and signs and things, monuments and whatnot.
Okay, so you said the first one is that there's this giant massive area and then there's a tiny island.
Ruled by one tiny island, yes.
Okay, are these also islands or is it just like one little island in the middle of a pond in the middle of a...
That's more what I was thinking.
Okay, alright, so you got a small island in the middle of like, probably like something like maybe Lake Erie or something like that, Lake Michigan or...
surrounding ruling all the surrounding territory.
Okay, and then the people on the island defeated everybody else, or...
They're ruling them. I don't know what the backstory is to this.
So what is number 2 then?
There's a legend that this kingdom that's got the one little island ruling all the other ones, there's a legend that they suffered some huge defeat.
Okay, alright, so like all of them together.
In the
Okay.
past?
Yes.
Alright.
A century ago.
Okay.
There are rumors of a rebellion to the north.
Okay.
Somewhere else, the inhabitants of an entire city disappeared.
Oh, jeez.
And then for your wild card...
That wasn't the wild card?
Nope.
Alright, what's the wild card?
Floating houses are the norm.
How high?
Floating on the water or just like in the air?
No, in the air.
So that would assume that boats float too, probably. Or transportation.
The boat. Okay, so... Or they fly around from... Or maybe they just use Misty Step. Everyone knows Misty Step. And that's why floating houses are cool. That's the new...
The house knows float.
Or maybe the defeat that was suffered was the freaking land flooded, except for this tiny island. For whatever reason, this was the only place that was never touched by the water the first time. And so there's this huge flood, and so people are afraid that this is going to happen again. So like, they don't talk about it, but they build their houses way up in the sky, or they build it up on top of giant pillars, or...
I like that.
Okay. So
maybe they have to anchor their house.
Yeah.
So
It's just filled with freaking helium balloons, like up.
They know how to float their houses, but they don't know how to keep them.
How to sink their houses?
Yeah, so.
Oh my gosh. There's a rebellion. Okay, well, before we hit the rebellion and the city disappearing, the question is, so there's this tiny island that rules this giant amount of territory. And that's, I would say, because it's the island, there's not a ruler there per se. I say people don't go to that island. They just know that the ruling orders come from that island. And they know that there's been enough people that have tried, like corrupt people that have tried to like screw with the messages from the island that have been like destroyed.
Yeah.
They just freaking die. They just drop dead because they didn't read off the order exactly as it was supposed to be.
I like that, yeah.
So like people know.
It's like everybody's under oath, so if they break, it just you
Yeah.
have a heart attack.
Yeah. I would say the rebellion in the north is probably because, we're being ruled by something we don't even know what it is, and why are we letting this rule our lives, and this flood never happened, or whatever the massive defeat was, or this,
I feel like they would be pulling their houses to the land.
Yeah, they would definitely, someone would be daring enough to build a house on the land, and then it would be like, oh geez, what's he doing? A whole city disappearing. You'll float too? I don't know. We'll all float.
Maybe they were trying to experiment with making bigger and bigger floating houses, so they just tried for a whole city.
Yeah, or maybe there was something that they did there that the island, whoever is in the island, didn't want to be found out about, and so it's all just gone. And so maybe part of what the party's doing is like trying to figure out. Maybe the party's just like adventurous in the sense that they just want to figure out what happened to the city, or maybe it's like, oh, I heard there's a rebellion going on. I don't know, how do we feel about that? Or maybe the adventurous part for the party is like, let's check that island out.
Yeah.
This would be a session where I would definitely have a session 0, or I would definitely talk with the party beforehand and be like, alright, this is kind of what I'm thinking. Where would you guys want to go first? Because I need to know what to design.
Yeah.
And then let them kind of choose. Be like, here's some different options, or if you guys have your own ideas, but where would you guys want to go in this area? Knowing that they're part of the kingdom that is ruled by this mysterious force, and maybe they want to serve it, or maybe they don't, or gonna be friggin' Wizard of Oz type thing going on, or
Yeah.
no. I feel like
something there.
I feel like that whatever's there definitely has some power.
It's when you said you feel like the island is the only thing that wasn't affected by water. My first thought was someone knew they put up a barrier around the island and just raised the water level, and was like, you guys are not obeying me, so.
Yeah.
I'll put you underwater for 100 feet, and then you can stay like that for 20 years. And then
Yeah.
So now all the houses float to just prepare. And a lot of people don't understand why, or they think it's scare tactics.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna put my house on the land, and then maybe all the land is like stuff that the island wants to keep fresh, or like they don't want to disturb the natural land, so they make houses float above, and they only take what they need.
Yeah. I feel like swampland is forbidden land. Like, swampland is just a bad omen. Like, if you step on the ground and it's squishy under your feet, you gotta freaking run. Like, that's some
Like
civilization
something's
PTSD. Yeah, or something's gonna happen. Like, the water's coming. Yeah. Yeah.
It's in their blood. They just know that if there's too much water, they gotta go.
Yeah. This would definitely be a fun session where there's just so much supernatural mystery that, like...
I feel like there's a shack on this island that it like goes down like 1,000 feet into the ground.
Like the freaking Resident Evil umbrella
or
base.
There's a movie called Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
And it's just there to... I don't want to give it away. It's an old movie though. But it's just there to house things.
Okay, alright. Yeah.
And it's sacrifices.
I like the idea of keeping it like this, impersonal thing, like this non-personal thing that's just causing stuff to happen, and we don't really know what it is. And so, like, if the party does go to the island to figure it out, like, stuff just keeps happening, but it's like... I know I mentioned this before, but like the Annihilation movie where there's just stuff happening and it's not like any... You can't just point your finger at something. It's just like things are just happening and it's like crap, you know? Like...
Yeah, maybe it's a daily routine for them that they just make their houses float because things just go wild constantly.
Yeah.
And they just know to be ready for anything.
Yeah.
I feel like there's the gathering of some kind of like powerful elementals or something.
Yeah.
That are sentient and smart enough to understand.
I'd say the question is, why do people still live near this island?
It's gotta be, maybe they're all for resources from the surrounding outer.
Maybe the land's really fertile around the island.
Right.
Maybe it grows something that nothing else can.
Yeah.
There's definitely something there that's...
Yeah, I'm getting the vibe that people live in constant fear. That something's gonna happen, like not superstitious, but just like terrified of like, we gotta be careful of everything we do because it could be watching us, or
Yeah.
it could be knowing, or
There's definitely no kids playing anywhere.
Yeah, no, it's...
Of course, they would play in the house. But
You hear the wind start blowing and people freak out. You know, like anything at all might be something. You just don't know.
I feel like the houses are floating, but there's maybe like rope bridges or something,
Yeah.
like spider webbing them together and holding them anchored around this
Yeah.
island.
I would say that
Maybe it's a gravity thing. Maybe they just can't be on the island, so they get super heavy materials to actually go to the island and stay on it
oh, I see
and
what you mean.
gather resources.
Well, we don't know that the surrounding area is an island. We just know there's an island in the middle of like a small
Well, it's
lake.
a continent, so
Well, yeah.
big old gravity field. That's what I'm
Maybe.
going with.
Yeah, I'm thinking like, I feel like these people would attribute everything. Like, anyone dies anywhere. We upset the island, or something happened on the island.
Yeah.
Or maybe there's forces fighting each other on the island. There would be so many like, kind of like Native American style, like stories,
Yeah.
you know, about like stuff that could be going on the island, you know.
Almost unexplainable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what, and I would, yeah. Okay, so where would you put your party in this area? How would you put your party?
I think
Friggin' geese.
I would put them near the abandoned city, and maybe there's someone out there, like just happen to be gathering materials or something in the abandoned city, and then they get explained to it, because that would be a good introduction hook. Be like, why is the city empty? Shouldn't there be like? And then they look up and there's houses floating, just empty.
Yeah,
And then maybe the villager explains to them like,
they were the unlucky ones.
yeah, just the best they know, that like something happened and
Yeah.
we have no idea. But
It's the
don't
island.
touch the island. Don't do this. Don't do that.
Oh yeah, and everyone's gonna be like,
Just read this book. Don't do any of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody's gonna be like, well, let's go to the island, you know? And it's gonna be like, don't, like, you touch the water around the island, and everyone's gonna have a friggin' heart attack.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a wall just to keep people from being stupid.
I see. I don't know. I don't think there would be. I think it's just like the
think it
general
would just be a
stigma
no-no.
of like people just don't do that. If you do, everyone's gonna freak out.
Yeah, maybe you get excommunicated or something. if
Yeah.
Someone tried.
What
to
if
go there.
what if you went to the island and you found on the island like there's just nothing on the island except like maybe a small house, and the person in the house is dead, been dead for hundreds of years,
And they're
It's
too
skeleton.
afraid.
And that's just how it is. And it's like, but they try and tell people and nobody believes them. You know, like it's just.
I like that. Maybe he was controlling, and he died, but his last note said something that just made them never want to go to the island and check.
Yeah.
Something that kept them from doing that, like, don't bother me,
Yeah.
I'll wipe you out. And then just
Yeah.
everybody's like, okay, don't go to the island.
I feel
We
like
haven't done that for
I feel like
100
if the
years
party
now.
was outsiders, they hear about this mysterious island, they wanted to check it out, and then they get to the area, and the people are like, don't freaking screw with it, and then like they end up like checking it out, and then they are gonna offset something,
Yeah.
or maybe like in Indiana Jones, they take something they're not supposed to, or just something is offset, and it just starts causing massive havoc, and they have
Yeah.
to try and right the wrong of whatever's going on. But it's very, oh yeah. How would you end your first session?
I would do something with the rebellion. I would make maybe the party's getting a little bit familiar with the area, and then the rebellion comes and is proving people wrong, but people are like hardcore freaked out, and like maybe it would convince the party that something bad is about to happen, but nothing really happened. Oh,
Yeah.
see, I'm walking on the land, huh? I'm poking the water, and then like just nothing really happens, and it's like okay, and then you could just like everything's dead silent, and it's like you almost can't hear anything, but it's so quiet, and then just end it right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Roll perception. Sorry, nothing's happening, but you can't hear anything.
I would have like the guy who touched the water just pass out, and then wake up like back in the town, and then like doesn't remember
like reset his memory.
yeah,
Oh.
like he just doesn't remember an hour before, like up to that point.
Oh jeez. Yeah.
Like
Somebody's gonna try to get that water, scoop it without touching it, and just throw it on somebody.
I can see the party doing that. Make him drink it in his sleep.
That's the first thing I would do is be like, oh, what are you gonna do, village elder? Whoops.
Yeah.
I'm the village elder now.
Yeah, what if you touch the water and it mind wipes? And so like that's like a banishment of like you get dunked in the water.
You mind wipe and then they just send you out away from just kind of like a Viking funeral. But
What
in
if
the air.
what if they mind wipe you and then send you to the island? So the island is just inhabited full of people that just don't know. They're just there.
It's a teleport.
Like they're like a husk. I would say these people are just like a husk of what they used to be, and they're just kind of like
Just chilling, standing around.
yeah, just freaking like just
I like it.
What if someone came from the island begging for help of some sort, but you can't tell if the person's real or an illusion or...
oh jeez, yeah. Yeah, I would see maybe the party comes into this area and they see one of these dunkings happen and the person like freaking out. It's like, you know the rules. You know what you weren't supposed to break. After they talked to that guy and got the book of the rules of not to break. It's like freaking, this is the consequences. This satisfy your imagination.
I could see that, like some kind of built structure just over a little bit of the water. And then, oh no, he's going to hang him. Why is he upside down? Bloop. And then he just comes up and he's...
It's like they're going to drown him. Nope, just dipped.
Yeah. And it's like, wait a minute.
Is that it?
Yep. Is that it? And then the person just kind of stands there and they like try and talk to him and he just freaking just slowly turns.
It's I would put something crazy magical, and I would make the whole village, city, or whatever fight the party to not get them on that island. Like maybe the Fountain of Youth or something.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a dude that's just been chilling there for 3,000 years, and he just tells everybody not to.
Yeah.
And he's 16 years old, but he's
Maybe
as far as you can tell.
the reason that all the people are there is like the same curse that keeps people from away from the island, keeps them from leaving the area. And so like maybe so often like they dunk these people and send them to the island because the person there needs people that are just mindless slaves to do stuff for them.
If they get too smart for their own good,
Yeah.
they wipe them. And then, so only like a few select guards can be truly smart. So it wipes their intelligence, but they could always relearn.
Yeah.
So they could just, oh, we need to go. And then, like, the houses are the only height you can go to. So maybe someone tries to make a hot air balloon or something to try to leave.
Yeah.
And then they pop it, and then they wipe him. And then he resets back into, like, a hospital or something. And, oh, hey, man, your balloon fell, like, there was
Right.
high winds.
Right.
Like, you could do all kinds of crazy
Yeah.
stuff. It's a closed society.
Yeah.
They don't want people to leave. Because it's almost like there's no sacrifice, I don't think, but there's something
Enough
that's
weird
keeping,
crap going on.
yeah.
I would say
They're too
after
afraid to leave, I think.
I would say after the party gets there though, they can't leave. And they don't know why.
It's almost like a gut feeling.
I was thinking like it's kind of like Once Upon a Time, where like in the real world they can't leave that town. I don't know if you ever saw any
Oh
of that,
yeah.
but
yeah.
like they can't leave the town. Like they try every time they try and leave the town, something bad happens. Like they get in a horrible car accident, and wake up in the hospital, or they
Oh,
like
jeez.
freaking just like, and it's like time's just kind of frozen there. But like yeah, I would say it's like an area where it's like they get there because they're curious about this island, and then it's like we can't. Like they try and leave, and maybe they just like get knocked out for whatever, and they wake up like a mile inside the area, and it's like,
Oh,
what the
jeez.
flip happened? Why can't we go? And so maybe they end up forcing them to go to the island to find out what the crap. But yeah, they gotta do it without the village people knowing.
Maybe
And touching the water.
I bet that's what the rebellion is about, is they figured something out and they need to get to the center to really prove it,
Yeah,
but everybody else doesn't want to.
yeah, yeah. Don't do it.
So,
Because they think everything's gonna flood again, or everything's gonna friggin' be murdered again, or whatever.
just high illusion magic, and there's just a crystal in the middle or something that enjoys the company of people.
Right.
So it just wants.
It's just got the mindless people
Yeah.
just chilling there, sitting. It's like they're not like worshiping it or anything. They're just freaking sitting cross-legged around it, just hanging out,
Yeah, just chilling, doing some yoga.
doing some yoga. Do you think we come up with any of this stuff when you started writing that list
Nope.
down? That's the beauty of these lists. Hey, if you have a topic that you want us to discuss, let us know down in the comments below.
You can't do it.
You were supposed to say something.
Not even.
Like it was like 5 seconds. It was like.
I'm just.
Seriously though, we do want to hear from you. Please let us know if you use any of what you saw in this video.
Yeah, if you have anything you want to discuss, just let us know, and we'll try to fit a video in, or anything you want to put in the comments. We do read it daily, so.
Yeah, we also upload regularly, so don't forget to tune in and check out, see if there's anything you guys have missed.
Yeah, so, check in with us every week. Until next time, we are the Guildmasters.
See ya.